Hello, I'm Gregory Hoag, here today with my wife Gail, and what we want to share with you today is an understanding how sacred geometry can support you with wealth and prosperity. Now, there's a phrase that's often used in the New Age community, infinite abundance. And it's there. It really is. This is a universe filled with infinite abundance. But it's challenging to make that real in our lives. I mean, it's like you think about, well, what's my life like? Is it really experiencing? Am I experiencing infinite abundance? Do I see the world? Do I see what's going on in other countries where people are suffering? Where does that phrase fit in? Is it real? And that's where I think that sacred geometry has really helped move me in consciousness to a level where I can literally start connecting in on those higher levels to that infinite abundance and bring it into this dimension. And that's what we're going to talk more about today.
That phrase, infinite abundance, I remember the first time that I read it. It was in a book by R. Buckminster Fuller. And he was an amazing inventor. He invented the geodesic dome. And he did so much with geometry. And his concept was when you really look out at the world which is always creating more, which is always bringing new life into this wonderful earth, the seeds that offer so much new life. We are here in a world that has tremendous, tremendous opportunity and value and resources for us. But one of the things that we've learned over time is something about scarce resources. We've been taught from the very beginning that we have to fight over different things, that there's not enough for everyone. And so our thought processes, our upbringing has put us into a place of feeling like we have to compete for what's there, rather than recognizing that the gift of nature, the gift of this reality, is that there is so much. And in addition to that, we are creative beings, and we can create more and more and more. And so it's all about, what are we really focused on? Are we focused on lack, or are we focused on abundance, on the value for the good of all? And that is a very important conversation in how we see abundance and prosperity reflected into our lives. So, for instance, if you're finding that you don't have what you really want, the resources that you're working with in your life are not really supporting what you want, then it's very important to take a look at what you've created, what your thoughts, what your intent has developed for you. Are you, as Buckminster Fuller would say, he said, you could come to this ocean of infinite abundance. You can come with a little teaspoon, or you can come with a pickup truck. What do you decide to do? It's up to you. And so it's wonderful for us to look at nature and energy, abundant, incredible energy, and see what we can tap into together. I was just watching this really wonderful interview with an astrophysicist who was looking at new pictures coming back from the Hubble telescope. And what they were seeing were sextillion galaxies that are out there in the world that they had no idea were there. And there was another astrophysicist, another scientist who's won Nobel Prizes, and he was saying there's more stars out there than there are grains of sand all over the entire earth. Imagine how much there is there. And we are made up of some of those very galactic resources. It's quite amazing who we are and what is at our disposal.
When we work with wealth and abundance, we often look out and see what it is in the world that we want, and see what it is in the world that we don't have. And so it's a focus that takes us out. And yet, to really be successful in creating what is going to support us, what is going to serve us, it has to start inside. So that orientation has to be totally switched if we're going to be successful in this world. We have to switch it so that it begins within us. And as we've been talking about, we have to go to the highest levels, and we have to be in that clear state. It's important that when we bring in the intent, that it's a coherent intent, and most importantly, it's an intent that sees us already having the fruits of our labors displayed around us, feeling that energy around us, feeling that joy and that happiness. You see, negative emotions are really blocking the flow of that energy from the heart, blocking that flow of energy from higher self. It's when we feel the joy that comes naturally with that higher connection to higher self, when we feel that joy in our lives, when we feel that love, and then we marry that to our intent in our visions, in our meditations, in our thoughts, in our daily feelings, our daily actions, we start putting out a resonance. We start creating something that vibrates at a level with that love. That love takes that vibration to a very high frequency, and that starts attracting to us the kind of people, the kind of elements that we had no idea that we wanted. You can't figure it out in your head. You can't pre-write the whole thing and go, this is how my life is going to unfold. You need to simply be in that space of love and joy and the intent that things are shifting for you, and they are shifting for the better because you feel it, you know it, you taste it, you feel it in every single aspect of all your senses. And then you're in a joyful space where you just allow. You allow universe to step in and take care of you.